Hey, what is going on you guys? It's Epic here and I've got a great video for you today, so grab your popcorn and strap in because we're talking about the Emperor. For those of you that don't know, before Borderlands 3 came out there were a ton of leaks making their way to the surface. I'm sure you're all already familiar with the Submato situation, and one of the leaks that came out during that time was that Borderlands 3 was going to feature 4 playable vehicles, or rather drivable vehicles. We of course knew that there was going to be the Revolver, aka the Cyclone, which would be that mono-wheel type vehicle. We knew about the Racer, which had been in the game since Borderlands 1, and also the Technical, which was featured in Borderlands 2 onwards. And while there was one more vehicle described, not many of us actually knew what it was, and it never made it into Borderlands 3 when the game dropped. Well, my friends, today I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what this vehicle was, because if you're like me, you love hidden secret stuff, and since this never made it into the game, I guess we're in the clear to talk about this now. So yeah, let's hope I don't get sued. So first and foremost, this thing was going to be called the Emperor. That is its confirmed name, that is not its code name in the files. There is a name file for this vehicle and it is titled Emperor. Some key details to note is that all of the files for this looked basically finished and this seemingly was cut last second. Everything from models, animations, vehicle data, sound files, you name it, it's basically there. What you're seeing on your screen right now is the only in-game screenshot we ever had of the Emperor. I don't even know where this screenshot came from, it's that secret, and you can just barely see the Emperor in the background. Now it's obvious by looking at this that the Emperor was some kind of tank, and if that's your initial intuition, well, you would be correct. By taking a look into the files for the Emperor, we can find some very interesting stuff. The main ones are the completed skeletal meshes for the Emperor. Now I apologize for the messed up textures here, but I'm gonna start first off with the base wheels for the Emperor, or at least what I believe was going to be the base wheels. And interestingly enough, these are actually a set of 4 wheels here, and they are named tank treads. So it seems as though, yes, the Emperor was going to be a tank, and its base wheels was going to start off with these tank treads as it was a tank. I can also further confirm that by looking into the files for the Emperor, it seems as though the gun on top of the Emperor not only would have 2 different versions, but could also rotate in a complete 360-degree angle. It would have 2 different guns on it, the first one being the Typhoon Cannon, and the second one being something called the Entropy Cannon. It seems as though one of these cannons appeared to have been some kind of flamethrower, so maybe that got reworked for one of the Racer guns. I'm not entirely sure. But let's get back to wheels for a second and talk about the second set of wheels in the files for the Emperor, named the hover wheels. Now of course you are already familiar with these, we have seen these already on existing vehicles in the game, so again it could just be that stuff from the Emperor were originally going to be reserved for it, and then in the end they decided they were going to make every vehicle part universal, so they ended up scrapping the Emperor and moving the parts over. But as you can see in the screenshot right here, the Emperor does feature its hover wheels, and you can also see what is basically a completed mesh for this vehicle. And then moving on to our last screenshot here, we have another one of the Emperor, this one without any wheels on it, and again it's just kind of a different angle of the previous one, but it gives you an idea of what this vehicle was going to look like here. Very cool, if I must say so myself. And then finally, my friends, our little last detail for this video is the Emperor's weapon slots. Now it would seem that by looking in the files for the Emperor, this was going to have 4 different weapon slots. Now whether or not that means this could have been piloted by 4 different people, I'm not entirely sure. I think it would have been maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe 1 person driving and 1 in the main tank cannon. But honestly, in a game like Borderlands, it wouldn't surprise me if it could hold 4 people. I could have seen this being a big deal for marketing, so it definitely wouldn't have shocked me. But friends, that's all I've got for you today on the Emperor. There is so much more of this in the files, including audio and whatnot, but I can't sadly get the audio out right now. If I ever do find it, we'll do a follow-up video on this where we'll go through the sounds that this vehicle was going to make. But until then, if you found this video interesting and you learned something new, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you later.